Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Great win! Coco Gauff, Bryan brothers, and tennis world cheer on Leylah Fernandez after her impressive City DC Open triumph. The tennis world stood still for a moment, only to rise in unison to applaud a young star who had quietly but fiercely fought her way back into the spotlight. Leylah Fernandez, the 22-year-old Canadian dynamo, captured the 2025 City DC Open in spectacular fashion, stunning the tennis community with her grit, flair, and undeniable hunger. From former champions to rising icons, the praise poured in, and leading the charge were Coco Gauff, the Bryan brothers, and a chorus of tennis legends and fans alike who celebrated a moment that felt like the rebirth of a warrior. A journey reignited in Washington. The story of Leylah Fernandez's 2025 City DC Open win wasn't just about 7 days of inspired tennis. It was about the 700 days of perseverance that preceded it. After her historic run to the 2021 U.S. Open final, Fernandez's journey had seen its fair share of peaks and valleys, injuries, dips in form, and an endless wave of emerging talent. But in Washington, she turned the tide. Unseeded and underestimated, Fernandez tore through a packed draw. She downed a string of seeded players, including number 3 seed Ekaterina Alexandrova in the quarterfinals and former Wimbledon semi-finalist Elina Svitolina in a jaw-clenching semi-final, before outlasting Anna Kalinskaya in a dramatic final under the lights of Rock Creek Park. Her 6-4, 3-6, 7-5 victory wasn't just a scoreline, it was a statement. Coco Gauff leads the cheers. Within minutes of match point, Coco Gauff took to social media. At Coco Gauff, great win. Leylah clapping hands fire been grinding. Been resilient. You earned that one. More to come. 100 points #respect #DC Open. The 2023 U.S. Open champion and current world number 3 was among the first to publicly applaud Fernandez's momentous victory. A gesture that carried more than just words. It represented the camaraderie and mutual respect forged between two of the most electrifying players of their generation. Both having burst onto the scene as teenagers and endured immense pressure, Gauff and Fernandez's paths have intertwined in rivalries and shared moments. But at DC, it was pure celebration, no rivalry, just recognition. Bryan brothers. Leylah's fire is back. The legendary Bryan brothers, Bob and Mike, who were present in Washington for an ADP Legends exhibition, were quick to praise Leylah's return to championship form. Bob Bryan impress. You could feel the crowd feeding off her energy. That's the Leylah we saw back in New York a few years ago. That fire is back. Mike Bryan. We always loved how she's got that fighter spirit, always chasing every point. She was made for these moments. The twins even posed for a backstage photo with Fernandez, hoisting her trophy with their trademark twin grin approval. The post, uploaded to the tournament's official Instagram, was captioned, "Goats recognizing greatness. Goat sparkles congratulations at Leylah Fernandez." Support from all corners of the court. But it wasn't just Gauff or the Bryan brothers. The tennis world came alive with admiration. Billie Jean King, pioneer and legend, tweeted, "Congratulations to Leylah Fernandez on a well-earned title at the DC Open. Her resilience is inspiring. Keep chasing your dreams." Martina Navratilova, courtside during the final, remarked during broadcast, "Leylah's tennis is poetry with a punch. That backhand down the line, vintage beauty. But it's her belief that won her this title." Ons Jabeur, recovering from injury and watching the tournament from home, posted a video on her Instagram story reacting to Fernandez's match point. "Yes, Leylah. You little lioness lion face, fire, let's meet in the finals next time winking face." Even Carlos Alcaraz, world number 1 on the men's side, commented under a tennis post, "Leylah is back. Congrats, champion." A victory that meant more. For Fernandez, this one marked her first WTA 500 title since Monterrey 2022. And it came not only after physical hurdles, but also a mental recalibration. In her post-match interview, an emotional Fernandez shared, "There were days I didn't think I'd be back here, holding a trophy like this. But I love this game too much to give up on it. This is for my team, my family, and all the fans who never stop believing." She fought back tears as the packed stadium gave her a standing ovation, one that rang louder than any point she had won that week. Why this matters for the WTA Tour. The WTA is entering a new era of parity, diversity, and narrative-rich rivalries. With IGA Swiatek dominating, Coco Gauff holding court, Naomi Osaka returning, and young stars like Mira Andreeva on the rise, Fernandez's win adds another layer to an already electric tour. Tennis analysts agree. Tracy Austin, former world number 1. The game is so much better with Leylah in the mix. She brings drama, charisma, and a never-say-die attitude. She'll be a threat heading into the U.S. Open. The DC Open win has also boosted her ranking, pushing her back into the WTA Top 25, critical for a good seeding at the North American hardcourt swing. The power of personality. Part of what makes Fernandez special isn't just her game, it's her magnetism. Whether it's blowing kisses to the crowd after a gritty win, or her earnest interviews about self-belief and mental health, Leylah Fernandez connects. She dances with her feet on court, and with hearts off it. In D.C., she was a fan favorite all week, signing autographs until dusk, even after 3-set battles, taking selfies, and connecting with kids who looked up at her and saw possibility. What's next for Fernandez? After lifting the trophy in D.C., Fernandez will head to Montreal for the National Bank Open, her home tournament. Her confidence is sky high, and the Canadian crowd is already buzzing. With her aggressive return game, renewed belief, and physical freshness, she could very well go deep in Montreal. Her coach, Father Jorge Fernandez, expressed cautious optimism. We'll celebrate this win. But we're not done. The goal is to build from here, to make this the new normal, not the exception. The road ahead includes Cincinnati and then the U.S. Open, where Fernandez made her unforgettable final run in 2021. If this week is any indication, she could be primed for another Flushing Meadows fairy tale. Tennis needs Leylah. In a world increasingly dominated by powerful baseline hitters and robotic consistency, Leylah Fernandez is refreshingly different. She's emotion. She's unpredictability. She's art under pressure. Whether slicing a sharp angle, chasing down an impossible lob, or fist-pumping to the crowd after a grueling rally, she injects heart into a game that too often demands stoicism. As ESPN's Patrick McEnroe put it, Leylah doesn't just play tennis. She performs it. Final thoughts. A spark that could ignite a season. As Leylah Fernandez hoisted the DC Open trophy under a setting summer sun, the moment felt more than symbolic. It was not just a return to form. It was a revival of one of the most compelling characters in tennis. She reminded fans that resilience still matters. That flair isn't dead. That a comeback story is always worth watching. On a warm July evening under the Washington lights, Leylah Fernandez raised her arms in triumph. The Canadian sensation had just completed the most significant victory of her career, conquering the City DC Open, battling through a star-studded field, and etching her name into tennis history. As her final forehand winner sailed past her opponent, Anna Kalinskaya, the crowd erupted. But it wasn't just the fans in the stands who stood in awe. Across the globe, the tennis world joined in celebration. From Coco Gauff's courtside messages to the legendary Bryan brothers chiming in with praise, Leylah's moment wasn't just about a trophy. It was a symbol of perseverance, redemption, and the rise of a star who had weathered storms to reach her summit once again. A champion reborn. Leylah Fernandez's journey to the DC Open title wasn't an easy path, paved with smooth victories. She had battled injuries, dips in form, and a fiercely competitive field throughout the 2025 season. But in Washington, she was different, focused, fiery, and fearless. Each match built momentum. She dismantled seeds with tenacity, outran power hitters with her electrifying footwork, and mesmerized crowds with her signature flair, combining court craft and raw emotion like a young Rafael Nadal in his prime. By the time she reached the final, the buzz was undeniable. Leylah's back, and she means business. Her victory over Kalinskaya, 7-5, 6-3, was a masterclass in tactical execution and mental toughness. From the first point, she controlled the pace, forcing errors with precise angles and relentless baseline defense. When match point arrived, Leylah didn't flinch. She attacked the net, finishing with a deft volley that left her opponent stranded and the audience breathless. Coco Gauff, This one was personal. Watching from afar, but cheering as if courtside, was Leylah's friend and fellow Gen Z icon, Coco Gauff. Moments after the final, Coco took to social media, posting a heartfelt message. "Great win, Leylah. You deserve this. So proud of your fight. DC crowd saw something special tonight. Purple Heart Fire. #ChampVibes." Gauff and Fernandez have often been viewed as torchbearers of tennis's youth movement. Both rose to fame as teens, both faced massive expectations, and both took unique paths to finding success. "I know how hard she works," Gauff later said in an interview. "We've talked about the struggles, the grind, the pressure. So, watching her win in DC, it felt personal. Like we're all winning when one of us does." Gauff's words weren't just support. They were a declaration that this generation of players, particularly young women of color, are lifting each other as they rise. The Bryan brothers weigh in. Twin titans of doubles tennis, Bob and Mike Bryan, added their voices to the chorus of praise. The legendary American duo, always proud supporters of up-and-coming talent, recorded a video tribute from a tennis clinic they were hosting in California. "Leylah, huge congrats from the Bryan brothers," Mike said, strumming a guitar in the background. "We saw the fire in your eyes. You earned this one. Keep going." Bob chimed in with his trademark energy. "That was world-class tennis. You reminded us what grit and flair look like when mixed perfectly. Washington couldn't have asked for a better champion." It wasn't lost on fans that the Bryans, though known for doubles, respected Fernandez's all-court artistry and fight, traits they had valued throughout their own illustrious careers. Tennis World reacts. The tennis community at large lit up with reactions to Leylah's win. Billie Jean King tweeted, "Congratulations to Leylah Fernandez on a brilliant DC Open victory. Tennis is better with players like her on top. She's got the heart of a champion." Martina Navratilova praised her court IQ and movement. She sees the court in 4D. Her anticipation is next level. Loved watching that final. Ons Jabeur, who had faced Fernandez earlier in the tournament, sent her own warm message. "You beat me fair and square. Take that title and dance with it. See you in Montreal, Red Heart." Even former players like Kim Clijsters and Andy Roddick offered commentary, highlighting Leylah's ability to connect emotionally with fans, a trait shared by greats of the sport. The fans' fairy tale. At the heart of this win was something bigger than stats or prize money. It was the connection Leylah has forged with her fans. A young girl in the front row of Stadium Court sobbed into her Fernandez headband as Leylah hoisted the trophy. Around her, dozens waved Canadian flags, held up "Vamos Leylah" signs, and wore homemade shirts bearing her now iconic quote, "I'm not afraid to dream big." The City DC Open had become her playground, and every point she played was a gift to the crowd. Her passion, her raw celebration after every breakpoint, her grateful smile in victory, they made this triumph feel like something we all shared.